if you're considering, what I would say about genre is to try as many as you can, to try writing in every form possible, but try to make sure that you understand the conventions of them first, that you understand the genre markers, that you know what a twist in the tail story does, that you know exactly how a haiku operates. People approach poetry with kind of clunky notions about it. For example, that it must rhyme. And we often see people desperately trying to make a poem rhyme, but forgetting about things like rhythm. So make sure that you absolutely understand what the particular genre wants to do and how you go about it. But then subvert it if you want. Once you understand the conventions, do away with them. Try without it. Try your piece of writing without them. I remember a story called Business, which I wrote a few years back, which was about a murder. It was about an antique dealer who murders an old man in order to steal all his precious possessions. And it was, I'd kind of modelled it on Edgar Allan Poe's style of the claustrophobia of being stuck in that sort of situation, of being guilty and what guilt can do to you. And so I wrote it. But I wasn't too happy with it, and I wondered what the problem was with it. And then what I did was take all the punctuation out completely. Every single piece of punctuation, every full stop, comma, every capital letter, everything was taken out. And all of a sudden it worked. Now, usually we would say everything should be punctuated. You should punctuate correctly. You should know your grammar. And of course you should know your grammar, absolutely. Because it's only by knowing grammar that you can do inventive things with them. And I found that story worked because what it gave it was an incredibly breathless pace. That it was a complete rant against what was happening in this environment, and what if somebody caught him, and what if this happened, and what if that happened, and he couldn't do this and he couldn't do that. And it was the fear and the guilt crowding in on him that I managed to get by doing away with all that punctuation. So make sure you know the conventions, make sure you know the technicalities of writing, the grammar, and then play around with them. I loved my 6th year at school because I did what was then 6th year studies, what is now advanced higher. And we took a creative writing course. And it was wonderful because our teacher encouraged us to experiment. So we would write cylindrical poems that just went round, we'd write it on a piece of paper, and what we would do would be glue the piece of paper into a cylinder, and we would simply then read it, so it was a never-ending poem. Totally silly, totally didn't work at all, but it was fun. And so that's what I would say, play around with things, have the confidence just to play around with things. It's good for a laugh. As for advice for people who want to develop their writing, as I said before, definitely find people you have something in common with to share. Find opportunities to publish. There are lots and lots of websites now for young people's writing where you can get some really constructive feedback on your work. If you can't find a writers group, form one of your own where you get together regularly to discuss each other's work in a constructive but critical fashion. And be brave. Just be brave. Don't stop. Don't give up. Find something to write every day, whether it's a blog or a message board, always bearing in mind that you've got to watch your internet safety. Whether it's a blog or a message board, or whether it's a journal, or whether it's a diary, find something to write every day, something that expresses you, not just sort of answers questions on a passage or you're taking chemistry notes, but write something that expresses yourself every day, even for 10, 15 minutes. Writing is a habit. Maybe it's a bad habit, I don't know, but it's certainly a habit, and it's a habit that needs to be fed regularly. So make sure that you try to do something every day.